Before the cameras started calling him a leading man, before his name became tied to blockbuster TV dramas, before his love life became a topic of national fascination. He was just a young actor figuring out something far more complicated than fame. How to love, while being watched by millions. And that man is Dingdong Dantes. But his relationships, marriage, and family story aren't just celebrity headlines. They are a long evolution, from youthful romance, to public scrutiny, to a grounded family life built in full view of the world. Early relationships, the years before the endgame love story. Before his most famous relationship, Dingdong Dantes went through the typical early phases of a rising actor's life in showbiz. As his career was growing in television dramas and youth-oriented shows, he was also navigating early romantic relationships that were mostly kept private or short-lived compared to his later, more public love story. Like many actors entering fame young, this stage of his life was defined by busy schedules that made relationships difficult, public curiosity that blurred privacy, and the challenge of balancing emotions with a rising career. But these early experiences shaped something important in him. He learned what doesn't last, and what requires patience to survive. And that lesson would become crucial later. The defining romance, when love became public. The most defining chapter of Dingdong's romantic life began when he became closely linked with actress Marian Rivera. At first, their connection started through work, on-screen pairings that showed undeniable chemistry. But what made it different was how that chemistry didn't fade when the cameras stopped rolling. Instead, it grew. From on-screen pair to real-life couple. Their pairing in major television projects captured massive attention. Viewers didn't just see characters, they saw emotional realism that felt too natural to ignore. Soon, speculation turned into confirmation. They were together in real life. And suddenly, their relationship became public property in the eyes of fans and media. Love under a microscope, the pressure of public relationship. Unlike private relationships, theirs unfolded in full view of the public. Every moment was analyzed, every appearance together, every interview response, every rumor or misunderstanding. This stage wasn't glamorous, it was pressure-filled. Because in showbiz, love isn't just emotional, it becomes a narrative people discuss, judge, and sometimes doubt. There were challenges, breaks, reconciliations, and intense public curiosity about whether the relationship would survive long-term. But what kept it alive was not noise, it was consistency. They chose to continue building instead of walking away. And that decision changed everything. The engagement and wedding, when the story turned into legacy. After years of public attention, speculation, and emotional ups and downs, Dingdong Dantes and Marian Rivera eventually became engaged. The engagement itself felt like a turning point, not just for them, but for fans who had followed their story for years. Then came 2014. Their wedding became one of the most talked about celebrity events in Philippine entertainment history. It wasn't just a wedding, it was a cultural moment. Why it mattered so much? It represented a long-awaited conclusion to a public love story. It symbolized commitment after years of scrutiny. It showed that some relationships can survive fame instead of being destroyed by it. For many fans, it felt like watching a real-life, final episode, of a love story they had emotionally followed for years. Marriage, the shift from romance to real life. After the wedding, something important happened. The story stopped being about, will they stay together, and started becoming about, how do they live together. Marriage brought a different reality. Shared schedules, career adjustments, personal growth under the same roof, and the shift from romantic excitement to daily responsibility. Dingdong transitioned from being a leading man in love stories, to a real-life husband managing real-life challenges. And this stage revealed something deeper about him. He was not just capable of romance, he was capable of commitment. Parenthood, when love became something bigger than them. The next chapter of their life brought children. Their daughter Zia became one of the most beloved celebrity kids in the Philippines, often seen in family moments that fans adored. Later, their son Ziggy joined the family, completing a new phase of their journey. And this is where Dingdong's transformation became most visible. Because fatherhood changed everything. He was no longer just an actor, a celebrity, a public figure. He became a present father, a more grounded partner, a man who reorganized life around family priorities. His public image softened. His tone became more reflective. His focus shifted from career dominance to family stability. Family life today, balance between fame and normalcy. Today, Dingdong Dantes and Marian Rivera are seen as one of the most stable celebrity families in the Philippines. But behind the public admiration is daily effort. Protecting their children's privacy, balancing two demanding careers, maintaining relationship intimacy despite public attention, and choosing family time over constant visibility. They are no longer just a celebrity couple, they are a family unit that has learned how to exist inside fame without being consumed by it. Legacy of his love story. The relationships, marriage, and family life of Dingdong Dantes and Marian Rivera stand out not because they were perfect, but because they lasted through pressure. Their story is remembered for turning public scrutiny into endurance, turning fame into stability, and turning a celebrity romance into a lasting family narrative. Because in the end, his love story isn't just about who he fell in love with. It's about who he became because of it. A husband who stayed, and a father who showed up.